There's a lot of humanity in the book. It's not just me, myself, and I, what I'm going through. It's what other people are going through and how can I support you.
Hi, I'm so happy to welcome today my beautiful friend Claudia Barattolo. It's a pleasure to have you, Claudia. Welcome to the ORCHID Diaries. How
Thank
are
you.
you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm better now, but overall, very good. Thank you. Thank you for having
Welcome,
me.
Claudia. It's great to have you.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to be here with you to reflect how has been the book affecting or helping you or guiding your life. And I would love if you can share with us your impression of the book.
I think you said the right thing is to inspire, right? In my opinion, the book is an incredible, inspiring tool. It's entertaining, it's fun, it makes you tear up, and it's very wise and very spiritual in a way, with a scientific touch to it. So it's a perfect balance of all these factors. I truly believe everything happens for a reason. And when you gave me the manuscript to kind of through it, it really was at the right time and at the right place, literally. And it helped me navigate through my own situation, looking at every character and really feeling part of each character in within me. It really was one of the most helpful tool factor for my time then and now, because the healing process and how to be able to heal and how to be able to process a lot of these hurdles and stepping stones in life, the book really navigates it so smoothly and also in a fun way. um, and the characters are chosen so well and so different, which is who we are as humans, right? And how they all ended up helping each other, which is really also a point that I'd like to mention, that there's a lot of humanity in the book. It's not just me, myself, and I, what I'm going through. It's what other people are going through and how can I support you, although I have my own issues, which I think humanity fails to do that, although maybe we're starting to go into the right direction considering everything that's going on. But it's been amazing, and I really hope that it gets into the hands of a lot of people. A lot of people may think, I don't need it, I'm okay, I have this, I have that. It's not about needing it, it's just read it, understand how it can help you, whichever way you want to take it. It's a personal thing, no, you can't tell somebody, oh, you read it because of this. Read it because of you. And it's amazing. I can't wait to see a movie of it.
Claudia, thank you for sharing that. It's moving, it's inspiring, it's humbling. So thank you. Are there any specific things that you can speak of to give listeners an example of what you are saying is how did it help you? Were there any specific areas in your life in which it did?
There is one of the characters that is getting divorced, which is something that I'm very comfortable talking about, that I am personally going through. And there are parts of her emotions that I was like, wow. So that helped me see how she hit rock bottom in many ways, emotionally, physically, mentally. Being a mother, am I doing the right job? I have 3 kids myself. So that was something that really helped me. Another character that was a model, which is something that I was many, many moons ago. And, always thinking about the way you look and your weight. And that was another one that helped me very much kind of really analyzing why was I so committed about my weight, and was it the modeling, was it a self criticism, was did I want to be perfect for me, did I want to be perfect for everybody else, did I want to be perfect for my husband, what was it? So that's something that also helped me. And then the main character, let's say Mary, as a overall, what she went through and what she made of her life. It's true she had the financial cushion, which obviously that helps. But again, it's what I am going through my divorce and through my situation, how I built up myself as a woman. That's why I say the book came into my life at the right moment for certain reasons, and it's in my life now for other reasons. It's a book that it's a whole journey, depending on what stage you are in your life and your journey. So, yeah, those are my main three that I resonated the most and I learned the most. I actually thought about the other day that I was like questioning some things, normal as we do. And I was about to take out the manuscript to go and say, what was it that she did? Like I remember the back of my head. So I'm gonna have to do that.
Please do, because really every time that you read the book, we are not the same persons. A journey doesn't take 3 days. So the tools are for stage one, if you want to say it. And then when you overcome and you feel better, and then you read again the same thing and give you another information that you are ready to
A
receive.
1000%. Yes.
So it's gonna bring more deep to anything that you are wondering. Like what is the question? After having these conversations with other women, we discovered that some have been reading the book already 4 times.
Yeah, because you're different stages in your life and you see things differently, which maybe you didn't understand or you didn't see it or you didn't, absorb the time before.
I understand that I'm not alone. Right now, I'm in accepting mode that for what reason is what is happening. And can I do more? No. The only thing that I need to do right now is to be keeping true to myself, have the higher vibration possible to help more people from there, from the place of love and understanding. So tell me, Claudia, specific examples of you going through this, like you catch yourself being different, doing different things.
One of the first step was realizing that a lot of the things that failed weren't necessarily my my fault alone, let's say, because obviously, it takes two to tango. You can't, but a lot of things that I was made believe, almost, I don't want to call it a brainwash, but something like that, were not necessarily my fault. So it was like a self confidence in that sense that it helped me get back. Um, and when I mean self confidence, it's also the fact that I now know that I can do things by myself. I don't need another person here. That was number one. Number two, it gave me the strength to use and put into action my gift, the gift that I have as Claudia. So I started studying again. I'm going to be graduating now at the end of January. Finally, it's something I never thought that I would be specializing in neuroscience. I've always been extremely fascinated by the human brain, and now I'm able to help others. And towards the end of my marriage, I realized that I left myself go also physically. I wasn't looking after myself the usual way I would do, but in a healthy way. Before it was unhealthy because I wouldn't eat, because I had to be skinny, because there was the runway show, because there was a photo shoot. But now, then I went to the opposite direction. I started letting myself go. And I realized that I was escaping my reality. And I just want people to understand that that's not the solution. Sometimes I hear a lot of wise people, coaches, mentors, holistic, talking about these things, and they make it sound so easy. And it can get frustrating. It's not. It's not easy. We have to teach people every step of the way to get to that, which is what the book does. It doesn't tell you, oh, this is the problem, now it's fixed. For me, what happens in between? How do you get to that? And that's taught me also to hopefully do my job, my future job, well, to really coach and mentor and guide people into a better self.
I love that. It reminds me of a part in the book in which Mary is answering questions, and someone says, it's how quickly can I heal? Right? And Mary's answer was, well, how deep are you willing to go? And how much effort are you really willing to put into it? Because at the end of the day, we're like athletes, right? It's a training, it's a preparation towards something.
It really is. It
What
really
beautiful
is.
recognition on your part to do that and to see it and to incorporate it into your life and to find yourself again.
Yes. It's not, there's some days that you're like, oh my God. And there's some days that you're like, I got this. Like I'm like super woman. You know what I mean? There's some days that you're like, I just don't want to even look at a freaking tree. It's kids, it's all those like miscellaneous stuff that they feel so repetitive. The homework, the tutor, the soccer practice. I'm like, oh my God, I want to do so much more. But it's part of my, not duty, but I'm a mom. It's part of it. And I wouldn't change it for anything in the world, but we all know what it's like. And that's such is life. I hardly believe that the billionaire or the most fulfilled person doesn't have a day. It's just normal. It's who we are.
That is something that I love, Claudia, what you just say is so true. Every person in the planet has great days and terrible days. But it's how from that day it's like okay, I wanna feel terrible more time or should I cut this? Now what I can do is make it shorter. And really that
Yes.
helps and makes a difference. What happened 5 minutes ago doesn't matter anymore. It's what you're gonna choose to do right now. It's terrible, it's difficult, feels the worst. Okay, now what I'm gonna do. So sometimes for me, I go meditate and I do all the different tools. What do you do to go to your center, Claudia?
It's interesting you asked me this because my housekeeper, Blanca, my darling Blanca, she's amazing. Not long ago I said to her, I said, Blanca, you keep talking to yourself. Like literally she walks around the house and half the time I'm like, who is she talking to? And I'm like, Blanca, again? You're talking to her? And she goes, Senora Claudia, I'm talking to my angels because you have to talk out loud and you have to call upon them. And it's interesting because I've realized that for, I want to say a couple of years now, I realized that I talk to myself out loud, but I realize that I am not talking to myself necessarily. I am talking to something up there. And I've only realized that once my Blanca said it. And I think that's my way. Like I've tried writing and it does work, but I always have to remember, like, if I'm out of the house or whatever, I'm not going to say, oh, I'll remember, I'll write it later. It has to be now. So for me, it's talking, really, truly talking, like I'm having a conversation with you, but there's nobody around.
Wow, thank you so much for that beautiful present because that is the importance for these conversations. That people understand that doesn't matter what is your way, is find your way to connect with your angels, with yourselves, with whatever you want to call it. That is the most important part.
It really is. And I was watching this lady on Instagram, and she was saying, you do need to speak to your angels, speak to them out loud, call upon them. A little bit what Blanca had said. They do listen and they will guide you and they will give you signs and there will be synchronicity, and so forth. And as I put down my phone, the iPhone once it shuts, when it just goes black. And then you have to unlock it either with the pin or with the face. And it shuts down, and I put it next to me on the bed, and I was putting my nail polish, and the phone turns up again on its own, and the video plays again about the lady talking about the angels. It was almost like she was saying, I know you heard what I said, you're not doing it. You need to do it. And since then, I truly believe that it was a sign. It was some sort of synchronicity happening up there. Like, we're getting to the end of the year. Talk to your angels, let them guide you. It's true, it's real. It's up to you. If you believe, they're there, they're real, really. So, I don't know. Let's see. Well, they're listening now, so.
I remember clearly when I first had such an experience. I was driving, and a split second, I can't tell you how long it lasted, but it wasn't long. And all of a sudden, I felt something next to me or within me looking outside that were not with my eyes, as if I was looking through the eyes of something else. And I remember going to my destination, arriving, and calling Rocio and letting her know something profound had happened. I felt, I guess I was something else looking out. And then I found this poem weeks later that described that. And it was, I am always there. I'm always looking into the beyond. I'm not asleep. I'm awake, wide awake. And it's beautiful when you have those connections. And I think the deeper you go, and when you make moments and you make time for yourself, you find that. Because yes, many people call it angels, others call it teachers, masters. Um,
Correct.
there's many people that talk about individuals who have passed away, who have transcended, who come and visit them and who give them advice. And all of a sudden, they know the answer to a problem, a question. And it's beautiful when you have that connection. And when we all have it, to your point. And it's just we need to connect. We need to open ourselves up to that possibility.
1,000%. Because when you open up, you dig in and you can open a can of worm, so to speak. So people try to avoid it because they don't want to face that. When actually, if you do face it and then you overcome it, the outcome is so much better than neglecting it to begin with. You know what I mean? So, but I think everybody slowly, it's learning. Social media has such a big impact on society that is crazy, of every single age, demographic, background, whatever you want to call it. And there's so much about spirituality, about scientifically proven methods of manifestation and so forth, neuroscience, all that. That I think humanity is really starting to go towards that direction a lot more than the BS that's been up till now.
I feel optimistic too, and with a lot of hope, seeing that more and more is mainstream and has been in my culture for 2000 years. It's like
Yeah.
now I understand better what Jesus was saying, and I understand very better what the Kabbalah is saying and all that. And
Hmm.
it's like I understand now, and now the science is proving that that is
Correct.
correct. And it's like okay, I'm so happy that the world is changing so fast, is so quickly now that more information is available, and is right now you can choose different, and it's gonna have a total different experience of life. So that's why I'm so happy that you took the book and used it in a very difficult moment, and you were able to have a different experience. When I was getting divorced, I didn't have this information 25 years ago. So of course was more difficult to do it. Now it's more easy to go back. And that's the point, that you don't need to spend so much time trying to find the answer.
My mom, since I really can remember when I was a little girl, and she still sticks by it. But by the time I was a teenager and then in my 20s, I was like, Ma, stop. But she always used to say, remember one thing, that the human brain has such a strength that if you want to move a glass by looking at it, you can. And she still sticks to it. And it's funny how that, it goes in full circle. And now I am in a stage in my life where things have happened and there were blessing in disguise, and having guidance like your book and so forth, that brings me back exactly to what my mom has always said. And now I believe it. Now I say it's true. You know what I mean? So,
Claudia, I want to thank you because I know you have been very kind in sharing the book with other people. And I guess I wanted to ask you to have you on record. Why do you? Like, what is it that you hope the book brings to other people? And not just hope, but because you've been so active in doing so. We've received some wonderful testimonials from people who have, but I was just hoping to just hear your words on that.
because as I said, it's a healing tool. It's a tool that guides you along the journey and helps you better yourself for yourself. I think I mentioned the other time that, I have a friend that was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer, and they gave him 3 months to live, 43 years old. And I recommended him to read the book for that very reason. And, he's still alive a year later, and they've officially told him that he's cancer free. He had 3 months to live. And the determination and the strength that he said, this beep is not going to take me down. I'm doing this. And a book like this gives you the strength to see it differently. It gives you the strength to really motivate you and somewhat challenge you as well, and mentor you through moments in your life. And I know everybody goes through it. It's a way for me to help others, with your book. I might not have all the solutions, I might not have the answer, but it's like, read this book, because this book has a lot of the answers. And it has answers for now, for in between, and for later, depending where you stand in your life in the process of this journey that you're living. So that's why it's so easy to read. It's so smooth. It doesn't get complicated when sometimes, you start reading too much of scientific or spirituality. You can read it anywhere at any point, and you just really open your heart to it. So I think that's important. Life keeps us busy. So reading a book that it's easy and it has a flow like this, and it's helping you, then I think people need to know about it.
In the book, we talk about awareness, gratitude, forgiveness, acceptance, and intention. Is there one in those that was more timely for you, more powerful?
I think, weirdly enough, I think it was gratitude. Because I realized that I'd taken a lot of things for granted, in the sense that I never really had to worry about anything. From my childhood up until the transition of getting married, everything that I had was normal, when it's not for the majority of people. And I go back to what I said earlier. Some of the things that have happened, including the divorce and everything, was a blessing in disguise, because it opened my eyes to things that are not so normal and that I shouldn't take for granted, and really give a lot more gratitude and be grateful for what I have and who I am and who surrounds me. So I think that was the one that, because the rest was always there somewhat. So once I read the book, it opened up the door fairly easily. But gratitude was like, oh, shit, that is so true. What am I thinking? And I still now have sometimes difficulties, even last night, with everything that's happening with you guys in LA. And I was in bed, and, I was just saying my good night. And I thought, I can't believe I need to say thank you for everything just because I'm witnessing this. I should say thank you regardless of, but now I'm aware of it. Now I'm aware of it, and I do something about it. Before, it was like, So yeah, that was the one for me the most, let's say.
How beautiful what you are saying, Claudia, because it's power inside of you. What I witness is an experience of life, what you are living. You are taking it to another level. Today, we are experiencing these fires here in LA, and they are humongous. Today, after my meditation, what I say was thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to have this conversation, to be alive, to spread more tools for more people who gonna live difficult situations, and they gonna know at the end that okay, that doesn't define me. How can I
Yeah.
overcome this? My mother lost everything in Mexico in an earthquake, and she didn't have tools, and that took a toll on her. Was the beginning of her disease and death. And that's why I wake up really early, and you told me, are we on? And I was thinking, yes, of course, we are on. We need to continue to do this work because it's so important when you are in this situation and have the courage to do what is correct for you. Be compassionate, be a helping hand, act and do something for the greater good of everyone. If you are helping and stay in high energy, vibrational, then you are helping the world, sending prayers, sending the
Yes.
angels. Really, the energy is arriving. So, thank you so much for the concern, really, because we are helping bringing more people to understand the power that we have, each
Yes.
person.
I really truly believe everything happens for a reason. I don't know whether it's life that has taught me this. Sometimes are not good things, but there is a reason. As I say, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. It's just my gut feeling. That's my take.
As you look towards your future, right? And you're different. You're more empowered. What is the new perspective and intention from Claudia Barattolo towards her life?
It's crazy. And that's just what I say synchronicity, because we could have had this call a month ago, but it had to be today. And last night, I think I made a conscious decision on what was it going to be. And now you're asking me this. So, it's crazy. So the reason why I'm studying to become a coach and specializing in empowerment with an element of neuroscience is because not necessarily just to coach one on one, but to really be a voice out there. The format is to be decided, whether it is a podcast or be a guest in a podcast or be a public speaker. But literally, I just want to be in touch with people. I'm a people's person. I've always been since I'm a kid, and whether it was because I was socializing when we were back in Hong Kong, or whether because now I'm going to do something with a purpose. That's my goal. I think this is the reason why I'm on this planet in this lifetime, really. So that's the goal. That's what I'm going to be working on.
A couple of things. First of all, as you know, we're on this journey as well, and we just started. We are not that further advanced than you are. And so we'll be happy to share whatever we've learned
Thank
with
you.
you. And I just want to say congratulations. No one can tell stories like Claudia. There's something about each one of us that when
Yes.
we add that special sauce, that special spice that
Yes.
we are, well, there's no one like you. And so, really, the way you will tell your stories is so unique. It's so special. And there's going to be thousands and thousands of people who are going to listen to it and will resonate and connect with them.
Congratulations to decide to be a light in the world. And I hope this continue to inspire more people to feel the way we are feeling, to really step up our game all together. That's the way we're gonna win this game. The
Totalmente.
game of life is collaboration, is understanding, is supporting each other, is understanding that I'm gonna win when you win. So let's support each other more and more, and we can do it. And
Of
when
course we
we
can.
are together,
Even-
nothing can stop us.
I love it. I'm really excited, and I have no doubt. I mean, I said it from the beginning. So I'm ready for it.
And it's so important that other mothers see you with your kids and having fun, because that's the point. That really doesn't need to be so heavy. So let's have fun. Let's give us permission to play. Claudia, do you have any other thing that you think is important to say right now?
Yes, I mean, read the book. Trust me. You might not know me out there, whoever's listening to it, but I hope that you feel an inch of trust of what I'm saying. You'll be very, very thankful you did. Everybody needs it, whether you believe it or not, whether you think you do or not. Read it and keep it. You go back to it for, let me just read that part again, because I'm gonna take it in differently this time, depending where you are at that moment in your life. So yes, read the freaking book. Literally. The Orchid. It's it's a must.
Thank you, Claudia, because that's the point, that more people feel fantastic. They
Really.
understand that they have the power to cut anything that is holding you. Is you have the scissors, and with the book, you finally do this. Okay, I'm free. Wow.
It's very true. It's so
Yes,
exciting.
thank you. Thank you for those words. Thank you for joining us. Thank you
Thank
for the
you.
advice, and thank you for having read the book and incorporating it into your life and allowing it to inspire you to take another step in the direction that you were going to go anyway. But we're glad
Well, you
that we'd
did get
accompany you in
definitely
the
gave me a
journey.
push, let me tell you. Because it could have been a long time, but everything, landed on my lap at the perfect time. So,
As
see,
it always does.
as it always does. Thank you so much for having me. It was always so fun.
To everyone who has listened or has watched, thank you so much for joining us, for listening, for giving us of your time. To Claudia Barattolo, thank you, dear friend. It's so great to have you in our lives. To Rocio, my love, thank you as always. This has been another episode of the Orchid Diaries. See you next time.